It's always somebody. Somebody's always talking talking when I go live. Even when I do a countdown, there's always somebody. Do you guys draw
Oh,
straws
I
for
thought
this or something?
No, it's usually me, and it wasn't me this time. I was completely quiet.
I've gotten Charlie with it. I think Kevin might be the only person that's never been gotten with it.
because
I
he's
feel,
the
I feel like you actually like text him like, "Hey, I'm gonna go live. Don't tell these other people." And we're just
No,
like,
no,
"Nah,
no.
nah,
You want to know
nah,
what it
just
is?
live."
It's because he's not American.
Oh,
Kevin just wants to
He's
play
just
Lord of the
really
Rings. That's all it is.
No, he wasn't like that during
it's so
Prince of Strahd
wholesome.
either.
He's like, I just want to play Lord of the Rings, guys.
But we are live now.
it's not
Charlie,
really
dude, you can't keep having just random names on every platform.
I can too.
I can't
That's
keep
Kevin.
up. We just can't keep up, man.
Oh, ask Kevin about
Whatever,
Thursdays.
whatever. I do what I want.
I do what I want.
All right. Well, I would like to do some Middle Earth if you guys want to too. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to,
yeah,
but
I guess.
I mean, do we have time?
we got a couple hours. I think we can probably fit a little bit in.
We can maybe squeeze in a little bit of Middle Earth as a treat.
Yeah, I think we can. I think we can handle it.
When we say Middle Earth, we do mean like the prancing pony, right? Because we're heading towards an inn.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, we were talking about the Rings of Power. Can we do that?
It's in the Middle Earth, so.
I mean,
Yeah.
some fans would say it's not.
All right, Kevin, it's all yours, bud. Yeah, rein these cats in and get us running on this rodeo.
So we are back. The group had its fellowship phase where it went away. It disbanded for some time, a good few months actually. They went off with Orelion and Rook returning to Rivendell to research the diary and recover their morale after all the shadow they'd accumulated. Maracar, Damrod spent a bit of time together before Maracar returned to Bree and was a bit of a lost puppy staying in Breeland. However, we started last week with the elves getting up to a little bit of mischief in Rivendell, hiding a dwarven axe of a party of dwarves that had arrived in Rivendell. We had Maracar being requested of the Reeve of Bree to aid with a small problem that had been occurring recently. Refugees from the south arriving at Bree and the gates being barred for the time being until the Reeve could decide who was going to be let in, or at least where they were going to be kept, these refugees. Damrod arrived to notice Maracar and was allowed to enter the town with the aid of Maracar also. While outside, they had a small chat and an encounter with an adventurous looking hobbit who also was able to talk to the guard and get inside. The two elves, however, had a little bit of trouble, especially Aurelion, getting through the gate due to Harry, Aurelion's nemesis, I guess. As Maracar and Damrod went and spoke to the Reeve. However, didn't get to speak to the Reeve much. It was the assistant they spoke to mostly. Got a little bit frustrated with the assistant, Cole. And we will pick up with Damrod and Maracar stepping out onto the street with their plan to perhaps head to the Prancing Pony. Why don't you both give me a perception check. And why don't we have Orelion and Rook also give me perception checks?
So I don't know if it matters, but I stayed at the
Damn
gate
it.
because I caused a little bit of a kerfuffle.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, still give me a perception check.
Okay.
Just
Better
so you
be-
don't feel left out.
Maracar would.
Oh, I never feel left out with you, man.
Good to
The
see
vibes
some.
are so good today. I feel like we're all just being very friendly to each other.
Well, we miss
Mablung,
each other.
Yeah.
Mablung certainly would notice the very tall, hooded figure of who could only be one of the Dunedain, unless his hood isn't covering his head at this moment in time. Damrod, would he have his hood, his cowl drawn over?
Mm-hmm. I think probably not. Not at this time.
Okay, yeah, Rook, you would certainly notice the very features of Damrod step out onto the street. Aurelion, you would see a tall human who you could certainly assume to be one of the Dunedain. Step out onto the street.
As I see him, I said, "Well, there's him. Where's the other one?"
Yeah, Damrod, you would probably just look to your right, looking down the street towards the east gate, and you would see. Well, what would they see, Ray and Rook?
So Aurelian has his hood up, so it's kind
I
of
was
difficult
just
to tell.
yeah.
Yeah, to tell exactly what he looks like. He might kind of second glance look over at Aurelian because before he was wearing lots of blacks and dark blues and silver, but now he's wearing a lot more green just to kind of blend in a bit more. His hair has grown out a little bit, and he has like to the side like a braid that was done by Rook. Besides that, he still has his dark circles under his eyes, but his eyes do have a little bit more life to them than maybe Damrod would remember.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make eye contact. Wait, where's Maracar in all this?
Maracar isn't around that you can see.
Okay. Have my hood up
The
and I
two of you
kinda-
can, Rook, you can definitely tell that this tall human that stepped out onto the street is definitely Damrod. And he's still some way away, but you can make out for certain. Aurelion, you can see that it's a taller than most around here.
I say, hey,
Human,
Aurelion,
dark hair.
you go left, I'll go right. Keep our hoods up, and we'll just like get on both sides and be like, "Where's Maracar?" And then when he realizes it's us,
He'll just nod and be like,
go.
he needs to be humbled a bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, Damrod, you would look down and you would see two hooded figures making their way up the street, and then you see them both looking in your direction, and they seem to split off from each other, like part.
Did I recognize them at all?
I'm gonna say potentially. They move with much more of a grace. They are wearing different from what they did previously when you saw them last, but they move with a careful grace about them. Their frames slightly more elegant, shall we say?
I imagine like the fact that we don't age also probably helps if we don't grow facial hair.
I think that Damrod is notes that these might be elves here, but maybe doesn't realize it's Rook and Aurelion. But kind of seeing them like split off and like almost skulk around, he's gonna pick one of them and just like kind of try to follow.
Okay. While you are sort of trying to track both of them, you lose sight of one of them, perhaps the smaller of the two. Maracar, just before we resolve that, while out front, you've noticed quite a few different peoples in the crowd. Yes, a lot of them do look somewhat similar to the people of Bree, maybe slightly darker complexion, maybe dressed differently, more rustic, almost more akin, dressed more akin to how the Bjornings back home would dress.
Mhm.
So it would show that they perhaps don't have as much wealth as the Breelanders might have, or civilization as what the Breelanders have.
Yeah, they ain't city folk.
Yeah, you do see some that are maybe similar, similarly dressed to the Bree folk. But then mixed in amongst them, there are these others. Some actually maybe a little bit more secretive looking in regards to, they're keeping their hoods up. There'll be like 2 or 3 of them, perhaps like crowded together. And then they might disperse and you might even lose track of them. But they're trying to blend in with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Maracar, just watching over the crowd, has sort of noticed.
Yeah, Maracar would kind of keep his eye out for stuff like this, but as far as he's concerned, and as far as I feel like he has kind of interpreted his job, I think he's just looking at all these people as like, they're here as refugees, more than likely, they're all here for a decent enough reason. So he's not going to go like, searching people out and, doing stuff like that. His job is to guard the gate, and that's what he's doing. But he'll definitely take note of it.
Aurelion and Rook, as you make your way through Bree from the East Gate, you actually notice that there's far more activity in the town as you've made your way through so far. There seems to even be some makeshift huts or even lean-to tents in some of the gardens and stretches of land around some of the homes. And there are eyes peering out from underneath the canopies of these tents, these lean-tos.
How strange.
Do you think this has anything to do with what Master Dwalin was talking about?
It's quite possible.
It's strange to think that a Bree of all places would be where they would come.
So little time has passed. When did all of this even happen?
The shadow grows stronger every day. Even the common people can feel it.
Getting as far away from it as they can.
And when this isn't far enough, where will they go next?
Just shakes his head and says, "I don't know, but we need to figure this out."
You don't think? Do you think it might be related to what we're looking for?
I guess in theory it would make sense.
Do you think
A
the
little bit.
shadow is looking for the same thing we are? Or something else, something stronger?
Could be looking for what we have and something stronger.
Part of me just keeps thinking back to Gandalf on the road and how terrified he was.
He was
Strange
moving pretty
time.
quickly. Has anybody even heard anything from him since?
Oh yeah, have we heard anything about that, Kevin?
About
About what Gandalf was like? Is anyone heard? Have we heard any rumors lately about what Gandalf's up to?
you've only just got to Bree, so you haven't really had a chance to gather any rumors, really.
Fair. Well, I suppose we'll keep our ears out. For now, we need to find Damrod. Well, we need to find Maracar and Damrod and see where he's keeping Maracar at. Make sure he hasn't run off and gotten into too much trouble.
Whenever she says Maracar, I crack a smile. I'm like, I got some unfinished business. Let's find him quickly.
What are you going to do to Maracar?
We have a wrestling match that we have to continue. We've already talked about this.
Oh, that's what you're so concerned of?
I'm gonna jump on him.
There are refugees at the gate, Mablung, and you're thinking about how you're going to wrestle with Maracar?
I mean, we gotta get in first. But yes.
Well, we did get in, remember? We bribed the guards to get in.
Oh, that's right. Just slink in like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, Orelion went full Karen.
Yeah, I did.
After you had this brief conversation between the two elves, it's about then that you would have seen Damrod on the street and you split up. Damrod, you lost sight of one of them.
Was I supposed to roll stealth? I missed that.
No, I just threw that out there just to throw
Okay.
him off a little bit. I didn't even know if Kevin was gonna accept it, but I tried.
Yeah.
Just to remind us of Rook's bonuses.
I did not do it for that reason. So
Rook
mean.
the Sneaky.
I'll change my name. I'll do it.
Charlie's like, my stealth bonus itches.
It's 7, by the way.
It's 9, actually.
It's
Okay.
9.
It's a plus
Well,
9.
actually, Orelion, it's 9.
It's a plus 9, not a plus 7.
Yeah, Damrod, what do you do?
I guess start trying to follow the other elven, presumably elven figure, if one disappears.
So what's Orelion doing with the tall human who, as you get closer, looks to be Damrod? Seems to have be looking in your direction and following your movements as Rook disappears somewhere off to your left.
I will try to go down let's say an alley, just to see if he follows, and while giving Rook a sign to get behind him. The old pickpocket strategy that we used to use.
Yes.
Pick axe. You mean?
Well, yeah. Well, you can't pick an axe out of a pocket; it's too big.
Well, quite clearly you failed last time.
Not with that attitude.
You
yeah.
definitely tried, but
You still ended up with the axe.
Yes.
And ended up hit.
Mm-hmm. I'd call that a win, personally.
Oh yeah, that's a big W.
It's not a win for the dwarfs, and that's what matters.
Yes.
So, Damrod, you see the one elf slink off down a side alley.
oh, I'm following. I'm not concerned necessarily that elves are going to cause problems, but I am concerned that it could be a problem considering some of the weird things that are happening around here lately.
That's fair.
And the stuff with the Reeve and his assistant running things. Damrod's a little concerned about the happenings in Bree right now, so he'll try to follow Orelion.
Yeah. You what's Orelion doing once you get into the alley?
He's, of course he is. He's like up against a wall, like in the shadows. And as soon as he comes around the corner, no, he's doing the cross arm thing.
Yeah, with his leg, one leg up. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And as soon as he comes around the corner and I verify that that's him, I see that iron arm, I will like put my hood down. So the first thing he sees is my ears. And I will also like look past him to Rook and just like give a very slight nod.
And I just jump behind, like, "Hi, Damrod!" Total jump scare city over here.
Yeah.
So either you knew it was us or your senses have gotten dull, Dunedain.
I followed you.
Because
How does that consider my senses dulled?
if you didn't know it was us, then I would consider them very dull. I hope you don't make a habit of following strangers down alleyways.
I slide out of the shadows and I say, "Well, you recognized him, but you missed me, so they have to."
Everyone overlooks you, Rook. I followed
That
you
is
down
not true.
I followed you down the alleyway because I sensed a problem. There have been weird happenings around Bree as of late.
There's been weird happenings around everywhere as of late, it seems.
It seems that the population has somewhat unwillfully increased.
If 2 elves other than yourselves had shown up in Bree, it could be even more problems.
I can see
Have
to that.
elves been a problem?
This far out from Rivendell.
The elves, not necessarily the problem, but with other things happening in Bree, it could incite problems.
Well, you can trust that we're doing everything in our power to remain as under wraps as possible. We've had very strange happenings happening while we've been going on the road ourselves.
Very strange.
Well, we should find Maracar, and we should all fill each other in on our happenings. I have some things I would like to discuss with all of you anyways.
That was to be our next question. He's safe, I take it. Rook would be very upset if he wasn't.
He was what I left him. He's actually working for Bree.
It's in what capacity? Is he the garbage man?
Oh, he cleans up. He cleans up the streets.
Some people might call him that. Those would be people that you probably would find very unsavory. He's helping guard the gates and.
What? He's working with Harry then? That traitor?
I guess.
What, is he asking everyone who comes in what color hair they have because they're wearing a hood? What brave work he's doing?
Do you need to talk about it, Orelion?
No. But trust me, we have had more than enough therapy appointments in Rivendell.
Yes, Elrond was stern with us last time we talked.
It sounds like you could use a couple more.
No. We don't.
Oh, I was talking about Orelion, Rook.
He's needs all the therapy of the world.
Well, we don't have unlimited time, so what I receive must be what is good enough.
Do we need to set you up a session with Harry so the two of you can work out the issues?
What are you planning to mediate?
I thought Maracar could do that. He's become rather well handling crowds.
Well, maybe that'll be useful. Do you think that he would have time to step away from this busy schedule to help with a little, not significant job, just maybe the fate of Middle Earth?
Just, it's not a big deal.
We
Or
can
is he
ask.
too busy playing bouncer for all of Bree?
That is a good title. It's a good title for Maracar. I did see
Maracar, the bouncer of Bree.
a line of people bounce off Maracar's back as he held the gates open and allowed me into the city.
Well, let's go find Mr. Bouncer.
I don't
And I'll
like
put
it
my
when
hood
you
back
call him that.
You were the one who so insistent on that being his title.
Mr. Bouncer is a little different than Maracar the Bouncer for some reason.
Okay, let's go find Maracar, the bouncer of Bree. Let's go find them, Damrod. Let's go find them so you can go be gloomy to somebody else, because now you're starting to act like him, and he kind of smacks Orelion on the chest. Start act like him, and this is getting really depressing. At least Maracar is better spirited than the two of you. Let's go.
Rook, you remember when I defended you just a moment ago? I'd like to retract that.
No, you won't. You can't. You already. Nope. Too late.
I was thinking you sounded more like Orelion. I was thinking you two have spent too much time together. And Damrod will head towards the gate where the last gate he's seen Maracar at.
I just kind of glance over and start smirking.
He meant that as an insult to you, not
I was
as a
just
compliment
playing
to
with
me.
Two of you. Let's go.
And he rolls his eyes and puts up his hood and walks off.
The three of you now, begin to make your way to the south gate. As you make your way to the south gate, you arrive to see that the first warden of Bree, Giles Rushlight, is shouting something on the other side of the gate. You hear him shouting, "All you go back to your camp. Move back away from the gate. The Reeve will address you all tomorrow morning now. I know it's late. It's getting late, and we're not going to let you all in. He's trying to work out the housing accommodations here in Bree. We can't just let you all in with nowhere to go, you see. So get back now. Get back. Go on. Move back. Go back to your camps." Maracar, you're standing there with Giles, and you've probably got like a big stick of some sort as well, just like holding it out in front of you, like shoving anybody that's getting close. Probably apologizing at the same time as like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
um,
Sorry.
Black, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, and everyone sort of outside of the gate starts looking around at each other. But they turn and move away from the gate. You hear grumblings of, "Oh, they told us this yesterday. Why the delaying? Why is that Reeve not come and spoke to us at all? It's not fair. We've got mauves. It's cold." Just general grumblings like that as they disperse. You hear other grumblings of, "Oh well, what if those bandits are around?" And you see some like even looking suspiciously one to another. Families huddling together. "Come on, let's get back to our tent, and we'll keep close with each other.
So just for like my kind of understanding, how would a Bjorning take like a bunch of refugees coming into like my hometown and be like, hey, can I just have a place to stay for a few days? Like, I assume we'd be like, oh yeah, we got space in the barn or something like this. Like, I feel like we would, like, at least my initial thought is like we'd try to be as hospitable as possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think like the guest right would be a thing. In the wilderness, safety is important, and finding places of safety is important. So if you travel to another Bjorning village, you could certainly expect to have some sort of hospitality as they would with you. If a large group, however, of people just turned up at your village and was like, oh, we need somewhere safe to stay, then it would cause a bit of a logistic issue, especially if they have no other plan
Sure.
on where to go. If it's just they're passing through, or, oh, my village just got burnt down across the way, oh, okay, we'll help you out, sort of thing. Maybe you'll then go back afterwards. But what you could tell over the day or so that you've been here is that these people have abandoned their homes completely, fled whatever's happening to the south, and this is their final destination. So it's
Gotcha. Yeah,
a
so they're
large,
planning on staying.
yeah. That you see that there are carts and wagons full of as many possessions as they could carry.
Has he been able to get an idea on what's going on down south?
Why don't you give me like 3 skill checks that you think would help with this?
Okay. Let me see. Not a whole lot here. I would think maybe like I can see him as he's like walking around, handing out his twice baked buns or twice baked cakes,
Honey cakes.
which he does daily. Yeah, he would he'd like stop and like pet a few dogs and stuff like that and try to get to know some of the families. Would animal handling help me out?
The animals love him.
The animals will tell him.
I mean,
you've sold it. You've sold it.
Let's be real. If you have a dog and someone, yeah,
okay. You sold it to me. Yeah, do it.
All right, yeah. All right, that's not great.
I like your new name, Nate.
It's great.
Yeah, you like it? Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot for acquiring information. I guess we'll do it like a perception, like seeing. Seeing that's still a 10. Doesn't really fucking matter. But like pay attention to wow, yeah, they're bringing everything over, and maybe even like hearing whispers of things and stuff like that.
Right, give me one more.
Maracar is just so. Yeah.
You got this,
I'm
man.
gonna go out on a limb.
Uh-oh.
And
Is it a broken
see
limb?
if
right to the dice god.
You got this, Nate.
Yeah, we're praying to the dice gods. I had decent rolls the last game. I'm gonna go for. I'm thinking. What's it? Lore is like history, right?
Yes.
Or what's something that's like rumors and stuff?
Isn't there rumors?
Okay, so lore would replace effectively like Arcana. It's like the mystical
gotcha.
of the world.
I guess then maybe like keeping up in the local news kind of stuff.
I mean, insight or
It really doesn't matter. Most
persuasion
stats here are
or
negative.
yeah. I mean,
A
it
20
Yeah,
with
we'll go
negative one.
persuasion.
yeah, go persuasion. I'll give you advantage because you're honeycakes. Okay.
That's a really strong 14.
I think what you would find is that effectively Farbad has almost Farbad has completely been abandoned. That's you found out that there's
Wow.
like a really old city down south on a river, a great river, and the bridges are finally broke. The lower city is completely flooded, and everybody else that was left in the city has now completely abandoned it. With the only place really being north, especially how there are those of the south beyond Farbad have come north as well and have crossed the river.
Oh wow.
And that's why not like tons of people, but that's why you see this like mixed demographic within the refugees. The ones at Farbad, you
Gotcha.
get
So I just know like something that's happening.
yeah, you can the ones at Farbad look like they've got a little bit of coin about them, and are the ones that maybe are dressed a lot like the civilized Bree folk. And then the ones that that seem to be further south of Farbad and that have crossed the river, they tend to be the ones who look like the Bremen, but are dressed maybe more like the Bjornings would, a more rustic look about them.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think at this point Maracar is definitely he's feeling like whatever he's doing here just isn't enough. And like there's an underlying issue that needs to be addressed. And I think he doesn't necessarily understand why we can't kind of expedite some of this process. Like there's what, 7 other towns around?
Bree
Something like
is
that.
Bree's like the largest place.
Right.
The other villages, you've been to Archit, and that's just like wooden wooden
Mhm.
homes built on the edge of the forest the forest, the wood.
Mhm.
Coombe is quaint cottages as such, and then you haven't been to Staddle, but you know that it's a lot of hobbit holes. So
Mhm.
yeah, Bree's the only one that's sort of metropolitan enough to be able to hold people.
Gotcha, gotcha.
I mean, if people have a
Yeah.
trade to be related to the other like places, perhaps they could be
Mhm.
housed there. But yeah,
Yeah, but city folk ain't got no skills.
mm,
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. I mean, he's okay. That was the only question that I
yeah,
really had to kind of figure out.
yeah. So the crowd does disperse, and you see them heading back to some their camp where there's tents and stuff set up just the other side the road where there's room for them. And there's sort of a feeling of relief within you and the other wardens, and you hear
Mhm.
some of the wardens sort of grumbling. Oh, I'd stay out here again all day. Oh, can't be doing with this. Should just let them in or send them on the way so we can go back to, just not doing as much work. Um, Tad, the young warden, he seems to be the only one that's taking this seriously. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's a real eager beaver. But the gates open and they let you and the other wardens in. As you do step in, you see a group of 3, just a little bit further up the road, just standing watching the backside of the gate. One of them is Damrod. The other 2 are shorter, slender, with their hoods up. Damrod, Orelion, and Rook, you'd see Maracar step back through the gate.
I will just glance to Rook and see what he's doing.
He kind of like rushes forward to where Maracar is at. No, I'm not gonna arrest him. I was going to, but not in this situation. I say, "Excuse me, sir. Can we get in, please?
We're on the inside.
Or can we get out?"
That's the joke. As soon as Maracar realizes it's Rook, he would tackle him so hard, like spear him right in his stomach,
Nope,
slam him to the ground.
I try to stick
your
it.
dog hasn't seen you in like 3 days.
I try to stick it. Like, no, you're picking me up.
Give me a
No way, buddy.
give me an athletics check. And,
Come on, man. You did well before.
And Maracar, give me an athletics check.
Bring it.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Elves win again.
No, that's a solid one.
Rook's able to use his lower center of gravity and experience in this sort of thing against you.
I just kind of like stick my foot down, hook his belt, and just kind of hip toss him.
Yeah. And Maracar, he'd laugh so hard, and he'd lay on his back, and then he'd pull out the pipe, and he'd hold it up while he's still laying on his back, and he goes, "This thing's great."
I will walk over.
I reach in my sack and I reach in my little pouch. I pull some out and I stuff it down in there.
The same thing.
Yes.
Same brain.
You can just roll some up in a bag and here you go.
Yeah.
Have we become his drug dealers? Oops.
Well,
I mean,
it's tobacco.
It might actually be the other way around in regard to. I mean, all the pipe weed comes out of the Shire pretty much around here.
Oh yeah.
So it would have to pass through Bree.
Yeah, I think Maracar would definitely have found like a source for some good pipe weed, and he'd be the guy who would look for like different varieties and strains
flavors
and different flavors, and he'd be so excited to show Rook all the different stuff that he's found. But he's been holding on to it for like months, waiting for Rook to try some, so it's probably all stale.
Rook's eyes would go
hey,
like a cat. Just, oh.
Maracar invented edibles in Middle Earth, and he's making them into his honey cakes.
That's why his double baked honey.
That's why they all love them.
That's why they put Maracar on duty, because they chill out when he's there.
Yeah, he's going around. He doesn't charge for them either, so just like free bud.
They just get a little hungrier.
That's
yeah, they're a little more.
But the second one he charges for the second one.
That's true.
Oh, that's mean. Because you're coming back for the second one.
Or like he makes you he gives you the honey cakes for free, but he has like a bag of crisp, and he's like, this one's gonna cost you like 50 gold.
Maracar's been hanging out with the business hobbits too much.
Yeah,
the business hobbits. Oh
selling
yeah,
bites
so
of llamas bread. That's how you feed
so
that's how you
funny.
feed the hungry. Cost llamas bread. Here you go.
So you are all gathered in the streets, slightly north of the south gate. What
Maracar
do
has
you
a
guys
beard
do?
now, right? Bless you.
Thank you.
I think he's going for the mustache.
Mm.
Yeah, he's got like a handlebar thing going on. It's not fully grown in yet, but yeah, I think that's where he's going.
Aurelian would come up to him and be like, "Well, you certainly look less like a child now. Perhaps now you can get some ale
mean-
without being carded."
I am. Wait, you're supposed to have cards?
Ideally, yes.
And he looks like he's done something illegal. Like he's really nervous about it.
You're annoyed.
And he's like, "Oh my god, the Barleyman's been serving me for years. No, months. How long have you guys been gone?
2 weeks.
weeks.
And we say that like at the same
No.
time.
No, it's been more than 2 weeks.
No, it's
It's-
really been 2 weeks.
Could
told
we
you
make a
2 weeks and
deception
2
check to see if we can convince him it was 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, it's going to be a disadvantage, 100%.
I'll take that.
Well, if we both do it, what do you have in deception?
I've got a 2.
I got 4.
Go for it.
Do I
I
just
think
make an
you
intelligence check?
I think you should both do it since you're both lying about it.
Yeah, but we got disadvantage.
And we said it at the same time.
Yeah. We collaborated
Exactly.
our story.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Like Rook looks like he knows what he's talking about, and Aurelian's like,
Bro,
2
Maracar,
weeks.
at advantage.
No, we've talked about this.
Yeah, even at advantage, he doesn't. It's still
You know.
Oh,
that-
no.
Okay, you know that it's not been 2 weeks, but
He does, no.
Yeah.
maybe it's like
I
a
don't
month.
know how long it's been, but 2 weeks is no, because I had a birthday. Yeah. He was like, "There's no way it's been 2 weeks. I had a birthday."
Do you even know when your birthday is?
I'm more than I was last year.
What the hell
Oh,
is
did you
that?
receive our card?
What's up with all these cards? Am I so like seriously? Am I supposed to have a card?
Well, there was one in the mail.
And then
I'm
he'd look at Damrod and be like, "Damrod, do you have a card that I can have? Because I don't know. Like, are they serious? Are they messing with me? Because like I don't want to be here without a
would
card
like-
if I need a card."
I would like turn around and scribble on a piece of paper, "Happy birthday," and like I'd fold it up and make it look like it was real old. Like, oh, really? I never mailed it out. Oh, sorry.
You know how he can get.
And I handed it to Maracar. Said, "Here." It's
How
late,
forgetful
but-
he is.
It's late, but happy birthday, Maracar.
And he would look at it and he'd say, "Hey,
It says happy birthday. Or it wouldn't be birthday, Miller. It would be what would it be, Kevin?
Yeah.
Birthday?
Name day.
Name day, yeah. Happy name day.
and-
Oh no,
yeah,
it would be birthday. It would be birthday.
And Aurelian would pull out like a little clump of pipe weed and hand it to him, and he says, "Gift from both of us."
Yes.
And so Maracar would be like reading it in front of his face, and then once he gets it, he like lowers the paper, and there's just like tears coming down his
Yes.
face,
Made him cry.
and
Yes.
then he grab both of you so
Put me down.
freaking hard. Like Maracar, he's not trying to break bones, but like he's
The Kraken.
squeezing you. Yeah, he's trying to
Kicking my-
crack you guys.
Kicking my feet, like, put me down.
Oh, the chiropractors in Rivendell have nothing on you, Maracar. Please put us down now.
Done.
Well, I could be your cacapracker. And then
No, no,
No.
no. We're gonna get hurt.
and he'd be like, "Oh, you guys are great. I missed you." And then he's a fucking wreck. He
I'll
didn't
be
heal
crying.
a lot of shadow over
Oh no.
How
Yeah,
much did you get to
he
heal?
healed a lot of shadow over this break. So he's, huh?
So how much did you actually get to heal?
I think
I thought it was
2.
quite a bit.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought it was a lot. That was a lot more than that.
Yeah, yeah. He's still really close to his
a
breaking
break.
point. So he's an emotional mess.
Yeah, you don't want to get
these
one
days.
permanent shadow. That you wouldn't want that. It sure says
Can you
suck.
imagine the rampage?
Low key. No.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
so-
But yeah, no, he's real emotional, and he's so happy to have you guys around again.
As soon as you let him down, Aurelian would just kind of dust himself off, looking kind of uncomfortable, and say, Aurelian, Maracar, when we left you, you were building tables and looking for your lost love. How did you end up in charge of these gates?
Is she here?
Oh no, I'm not in charge. I mean, I guess I could be
Oh,
if
he
I really
didn't.
wanted to.
He turns to Rook and he's like, notice what he did not deny.
Didn't I?
No.
And
But he says, yeah, no, I'm not in charge. There's been a lot of people coming in from down south, and like Fergenderg and Souther from there. That way. And he points like west, and they think
I look at
points
really, I'm like,
to the gate that he was
Fergender?
just at, and
Look at Damrod. Fergender?
I don't know. It's a place down south. But he was like, I don't know what's going on, but honestly, I'm
clearly,
pretty nervous about it. Have you guys heard anything?
we had similar incidents in Rivendell. The king under the mountain was sent a group to speak to Elrond about some missing kin. We've heard about orcs and wargs being on the road.
Exactly, pretty much anybody on the road.
Damrod.
Oh, and Damrod's dad's alive.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, I met him. He's really cool. He's a big guy.
No,
So-
no, he's dead.
So the whole time all of this has been happening, when Maracar turned and the whole birthday card happened, like when Maracar turned and looked at Damrod had his head in his hand, but like almost rubbing his temples, but he was smiling. Like he's embarrassed of these idiots in front of him, but he's happy about it. And like as soon
Happily
as
embarrassed.
Maracar says this, that smile disappears.
Yeah, Aurelian is looking between you guys and he says, Maracar, explain. What do you mean he's alive?
Wait, maybe, and I turn to Damrod.
And
Maybe
he take a
he shoots
big
him.
breath, and then he tell the whole story in one breath.
Do I believe Maracar, or do I think that he's trying to pull a trick on me?
I mean, you can roll an insight.
See
Okay.
Maracar going.
Yeah, he goes through the whole thing about how Damrod and I, we went out to the woods to go do ranger things, and we met with a group of rangers, and there's this really big guy who, he was even bigger than I am, but a lot bigger than Damrod. And then Damrod kept calling him dad and pops, and he was like, oh yeah, you're my son. And I was like, that's really weird because I thought you were dead. He had a real big laugh at that. He thought it was hilarious. And then I met his dad, and he said I was doing good as far as fighting because we went to war together.
What?
What?
Oh yeah, we had a whole war.
A war? Like people
Against-
dying
Oh, yeah.
every day.
Yeah, you remember those Raven people? Raven. I mean, I guess jury's still out whether it's a Raven or a Jackdaw or a Mockingjay or
It's
a
not a
Crow. But
Mockingjay.
those
It's not.
the bird people.
Ravens are much bigger, and they can speak.
Oh, I saw a really big seagull the other day. It was pretty wild.
Oh, Maracar never changed. I rolled a 4 on my insight. You know what? I'm gonna,
Yeah, you did.
I'm gonna inspiration that.
It's like, I need to know.
I need to know.
I mean, like, the story checks out, like, what Maracar is saying. There's no reason why you would doubt what he's saying as being true.
Has Maracar ever lied to you?
Yeah, remember the only lie he's ever told is that he doesn't love Nyla.
That's the only one.
All right.
So you would just see him staring at you, and then like a horror movie almost, his head just like swishes over to Damrod, and it is just like the most pissed look you have ever seen. Like you guys have seen this look when he was like mind spiking people, and
Rook's
without
like,
a word, without a
"He's got
word, he just
over
like
here.
walks.
I'm gonna get out of the way.
He just walks over to Damrod and is just staring up at him, like glaring daggers, just like explain.
He gets a Maracar. He's
Oops.
so pissed. He's so pissed.
I don't think I was supposed to say that, Rook.
I don't think you were either. But now it's out.
He never told me. He never told me no. He didn't tell me not to tell.
Oh well, he didn't specify.
I mean, we're all friends here. I thought we weren't gonna lie to each other.
Right, yeah, no more lies. He glares.
I want to watch this though.
Yeah, hey, I do too. Got popcorn.
Pulls out some honeycomb, honeycake crumbs.
Yes, honey.
Yo, these things are good.
Rook and I, like, I have one of the honey buns and he has the pipe, and then we swap off, and he eats the honey buns and then I smoke the pipe.
Well, I got my own pipe now. So now we can just sip in pipes while there's
We're a bunch of smoking bros.
We're doing it right
What is Damrod's response?
Damrod just looks at Orelion and says, I didn't know who you were when you first started asking about my father. For all I know, you were hunting him.
You knew who I was.
Not in the beginning.
I told you who I was and what my relation to your father was. You knew the stories of who I was. You knew who I was.
For all I knew, you were hunting my father.
And he'll just take another step forward, and it's like, just like he sees, like he would probably see like crackles of black energy just coming off of him. And how long were you going to let me have a crisis of mortality over my entire fellowship being gone except for that blasted air? What purpose did that serve you, Dunedain?
Damrod looks confused for a second and is like, you didn't seem to care at all when I told you my father had died. Just brushed it off as if it was nothing, which gave me more concern for his safety.
Losing one member of that fellowship is bad. Having another member go to the Undying Lands is bad. Knowing that every member of that fellowship, except for the heir, is dead except for me, that will compound into something much worse, Dunedain. And even after Villy's death, you said nothing.
Damrod just remains quiet.
Speak.
I've said my piece.
And your peace affords you nothing.
I apologize if it caused you distress.
If it caused distress,
I can never tell with you.
And you thought, after everything that I've gone through, that it would be fine to tell a little lie about someone dying, as if their death means nothing. You knew I was not hunting your father, and yet you lied.
As I said, I did not know you were hunting. You weren't hunting my father. I told you he was dead.
And you did not think I was hunting your father when we were hunting for the jewelry, did you? When
No.
when you left me and Rook in charge of watching our campsite,
That was
you
a
did not
mistake.
think that we were a threat, and yet you continued this lie. You chided me on lying to Rook, knowing that you were lying yourself. And it
That's not
served
cool,
you no
Damrod.
purpose.
I'm saying.
Damrod just stays quiet again.
And Orelion will just turn and walk back to Rook, like walk past him and say, coming back here was a mistake.
Turn to Maracar, give him like a little forearm handshake. I'll see if I can calm him down.
Maracar has no idea what to say. And when you guys leave, he like slowly like turns to Damrod with like the oops kind of face.
Sorry.
Yeah. And he kind of like scrunched up kind of goes up to Damrod and he's like, I didn't know that was gonna happen. I was just excited to see them. I'm sorry.
Damrod looks to the ground for a second and then places a hand on your shoulder. No need to apologize, Maracar. Everyone else shared their secrets, and that fell by the wayside. I should have told Orelion sooner. I did keep it from him in the beginning because I wasn't sure of his intentions. But after helping him and Rook, I should have brought it to light. If anything,
So
I should be thanking you for putting it out there.
and he'd look over to Aurelia and Rook walking away, and then look back to you, and he would say, I guess it probably could have been handled better, though.
Could have been handled better on my end.
Well, I mean, I don't really help out either. You know, it's like it's your secret, your information. It wasn't my place to bring it out.
Oops.
You think we'll all be okay after this?
I'm sure the next time you have Rook laughing, I'm sure Aurelion will feel slightly better. Aurelion might not smile much, might not laugh much, but I think there is some mirth there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Aurelion doesn't a whole lot.
I think there is some mirth there. It's just hidden, which is partially to blame for the fact that I had no idea that him thinking my father was dead bothered him. He's always brooding about so many other things. And when I told him,
Maracar
he
shakes his
just,
head and he puts his hand on
when I told him, he didn't ask questions, just glossed over it as if he didn't care. I should have known better. I should have seen through. That's a fault of my own. I'll work on that.
Well, we all have stuff we can improve on, but
Make a great therapist.
we're still doing important things.
As Aurelion's walking away, I say, "Look, I don't
What's that?
understand how deep your connection goes with Damrod and his father, but why does the fact that he is now alive bother you, or is it the fact that he didn't tell you he was alive?"
Aurelian just kind of crouches on the ground and is like holding his head. And he says, was that morning for nothing? Was everything that I felt for nothing? Why does it even matter? I don't know. I don't understand. Things were so much simpler before all of this.
But doesn't the fact that he's now alive take away that morning? Would it not be more exciting to see he's actually alive instead of dead?
Then what good did me being upset do? I gather
Maybe it was for a reason. Maybe there was a reason that you weren't told right away.
Maybe that. But what purpose did the suffering that I suffered have anything to do with, like, it doesn't have any purpose. It was
I
just,
suppose he could have told you sooner.
it was just a stupid lie.
We said no more lies.
We said no more lies, and he acted like I was the child. When my lie was infinitely more important. Who cares if Damrod's father is dead? Who cares if Halberod's alive?
Yeah. Nobody
This
cares.
is why I didn't tell him. He doesn't care.
He cares.
He
He's
does.
pissed. He's just pissed.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's feeling, man. Therapy hasn't been working for him.
Here.
He's just shocked that he actually feels something about someone.
Yeah.
For real.
He doesn't know how
mean-
to handle it.
Listen, man, depression be like that sometimes. You're like, what is this feeling? I don't understand it. I don't like it.
10 out of 10, not a fan.
Yeah. Now what? Are we supposed
Maybe give him a reason. Maybe give him an opportunity to explain his reasoning behind
I-
the lie.
I felt that was sufficient opportunity, and he could give me nothing. Then, oh, I should have. Yes, you should have. These humans, I value their unpredictability, but what they just learn to think.
They're not thinking people, really.
They think, oh, we only live for 100 years, so we don't have to think.
Ooh, 100 years.
What a bit.
I'm already over 100 at this point.
Yeah,
Well over 100.
yeah. To be fair,
Look at me. I only live 100 years.
seems-
I don't have to think. I just live.
Well, being that they have shorter lives, does it not seem counterproductive to be mad right now?
Brooke, if I can be honest, even if I wanted to forgive him, how am I supposed to go back from all of that?
No, I agree with you on that. Kind of glares back at Damrod.
It would look silly if I were to go back and apologize now. And what do I have to apologize for?
I never said you had to apologize. Not once. Find the clip and post it later if you find it, because it didn't happen. Never said apologize.
Fair. For that, I do apologize. I'm putting words in your mouth. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm feeling a lot. Goodness.
He wants to. I want to wave Damrod over, but I don't know how it's gonna work out.
Look, let's just go to the end. I think we're both tired and need a rest.
Figure out what to do later.
Do the two humans follow the elves?
Maracar would just go wherever Damrod goes for support.
Where are you going, bro?
I mean, we kind of have to go to the inn.
We went in.
That's like the only place here, I think. I think
Do we sit at separate tables?
I think that Damrod probably he probably stands there for a while, waiting for this like exchange to happen, waiting for Aurelion and Rook to kind of move on. Definitely giving them, like, not avoiding them, but definitely giving them space, just in case Aurelion's wrath turns back around again. Um, yeah, but I think that he would make his way back to the inn, not only for food and drink, but for a rest when night falls. Just
Nate.
thinking to himself that he hopes that he can work things out, um, maybe tomorrow, because he had some things he wanted to discuss with everyone, and now that's become a
someone
problem.
ruin that.
Hey Nate, remember when you were like, "I wish I could have a one permanent shadow. I wonder what that would do to me." This is the answer. This is what it does.
Well,
I pointed it out in our Twitch chat. But we keep talking about no more lies. Maracar still thinks we're looking for a necklace.
No, we told him. He's just not listening.
Did you?
Yeah,
We
I said it's
did!
a ring that you use to find stuff.
Oh,
I don't-
Bro.
Did you?
Yes.
I don't remember
I know
this.
I know you told Rook.
I don't remember it either.
I thought, yeah.
I know you told
could've
Rook.
swore-
Yeah.
I could have swore I said it was a ring,
Yeah.
specifically because
Yeah,
of
We're
the
all
because
combination.
standing
Rook-
there.
No, because you told Rook, because I tried to
on
clarify
that
what exactly the ring would let you find. And
To
you
be
guys
fair,
were like, I don't think Damrod would know that. And I'm like, I, as a player, am trying to clarify.
To be fair, it's very possible he was trying to like subtly imply that it was a ring of power, and maybe you got it, but Maracar, having never heard of a
No.
ring of power, is like,
That means nothing to Maracar.
Yeah.
Nothing.
A ring of
No.
power is like a stone ring where people go there and sing and.
that's where they go to beat each other up to get their problems out.
Yeah.
Might
Yeah.
as
After
well.
that, you're not allowed to
that's
complain about anything.
Might as well.
Therapy.
Square up.
I think you discussed how you have like a day where you just come together and fight everyone to get your problems out.
That's how they wrestle.
Yeah.
They wrestle in the Ring of Power in his village. Sunday at the Ring of Power.
We're turning the Civic Center into a mud bowl.
And also there's like a really big forest, like a rainforest around it, but it's like the number one rainforest, so it's called Amazon Prime.
Boo.
Oh, Ray.
Unbeknownst to all the Bjornings, Saruman keeps turning up like, I heard there's a ring of power here. Oh, forget it.
That's why they call it Saruman the Silly.
Spread shadow as he goes through.
Maricar's gonna meet Saruman one day in this canon, and he's gonna be like, "Ah, yes, back for a rematch, eh?" And Saruman's wrestled in the Ring of Power.
He's gonna go and I'm like, come here, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
We're like, that's Saruman the White, and he's like, oh, it's Saruman the Brown after I throw him in the mud.
Yeah.
So it
Fan
looks like
fiction right here,
Radagast.
guys. Write it down. This is fan fiction.
So Dad looks
Saruman
like
the
Radagast.
Black and Blue.
That's fucking wonderful.
He'll be darker than Radagast the Brown.
Radagast beat your ass.
You arrive at the pony, Orelion and Rook first, trailed by the other two. Opening the doors and entering, you see immediately that the common hall at already this time of day is unusually busy. Looking around, you see lots of different folk in here, not just Bree folk, but certainly those that resemble the refugees that are outside currently. You see that they are gathered around tables. There are some tables that have been pushed together, so you'll have like a large group of perhaps a single family or a group that sort of know each other, huddled together. The hobbit waiter, serving guy, is running around frantically, trying to provide everyone with food and beer. Some of the locals are already in here, also, and Barleyman is very busy, red faced. And as the two of you walk in, he will turn and come to the end of the bar and say, "Oh, I'll be with you shortly. Very busy tonight. Got all these visitors coming in. Uh, sorry. And he'll turn and like run off to the other end of the bar for something.
He's so rude.
Before he goes, Maracar would just tell well, hey, let me hop back there and help out, and then he goes to work again.
Aw.
He's
Hello there.
he's
Hello.
half making cakes while he's there.
Hello. Many thanks, Mr. Maracar. And you as well, Iron Arm.
Yeah, Damrod, get back here and help out.
Looks at the two elves, not noting that they are elves, obviously. I'd be right with you when I can.
Oh,
I got
please.
them. I'll take their order.
I think
I thought that's
Damrod
what
might
you're jumping back there to
actually.
do.
I think Damrod might actually go, like, with Maracar to help. Like, if he's gonna go help cook and stuff, he might not serve because he doesn't want to, like, come out there to serve Aurelion's table and make things weird. But he might follow Maracar to the kitchen and help somehow.
It's only Maracar would tell Damrod, it's only weird if you make it weird. And then he'd hand you like 2 whales for Rook. I'm like, yeah, just go pass it down.
Just don't
You know, we got hot tickets on the line. We're in the weeds right now. You got to get going if you're going to be back here.
Yeah, Damrod's just in the way.
100%.
Yeah,
Even when he's actually helping, he's in the way helping.
Like he's never worked in food service before, so he's just kind of holding his plates like right in the middle of the service line.
I'm not getting in line.
No, Damrod.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot.
Mrs. Butterbur is in the kitchen with perhaps a daughter, stirring a large pot of stew, trying to get it bowled up and plated up. She'll greet you quite
Maracar would go
warmly,
in there. Maracar would go in there and he'd greet them all, probably by name. He's been back here, a few times making furs, cakes, and stuff, but he knows it's busy today. So if he can find a small time to make his cakes, he will. But yeah, he'd just be kind of doing all like prep work and food running and stuff like that. And in between, he'd be helping out serving drinks and stuff. He just sees it's chaotic and he jumps in.
Yeah, one of the younger children actually helps. Like sees you come in, and he has actually been sort of out the way, just sitting on the counter, just dangling his legs, watching the busy work because he's too young to get involved at the moment. But sees you come in, and his eyes light up, and he sort of looks at his mom and his big sister, hops down off the counter, and starts like getting some honey, getting some flour, getting some oats.
I love this. This is so cute.
He's sort of you've taken him on as your sort of assistant almost.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so he's getting the things ready for you, but gets like a special bowl that he himself has cleaned and scrubbed for you. Gets like
that's a big job.
Yeah.
He's got a sidekick.
And Maracar, when he comes in, he sees what's the kid's name?
Pick me a name.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah, it's little Charles. So yeah, he goes and he little Charles he goes and he starts doing his stuff, and I think Maracar does a thing where like he like scoops him and then like puts him on his shoulders at one point, and then he starts like doing it because we're kind of in a rush. So he's like, "Here, you watch from up here," and he has him, and the kid's like almost bumping his head on the ceiling, and he's like doing this stuff, get on his back, and he'll like go run food and be like, "All right, duck," and he like ducks underneath the door frame, and he goes and does his stuff while he's doing it. And then he'll actually have him do a lot of the work tonight because it's so busy. So he just like direct him on what to do and stuff like that. But Maracar puts it into the oven and takes it out because he's still a little too young for that.
Yeah.
But he can do all the prep work.
At one point, you're trying to help Mrs. Butterbur, and you can just feel like the mixing bowl on your head as he's like on your shoulder, using your head as he was mixing.
So cute.
I love it. So this is all canon, right? Like this happens in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, I guess book first. I guess.
Listen, it's not wrote about in the book. That means, but it's not also wrote about in the book. So,
Yeah, while they're having like the 111th birthday for Bilbo Baggins, Maracar has a child like making batter on his head.
Yeah.
100%.
To be fair, that's what Tolkien would have wanted.
Guys,
yeah, probably.
This is convincing me even more that Nyla is alive somewhere and has Marakar's child. Because now Kevin's training Maracar to be a dad.
No, I'm convinced that you just heard that wrong.
I'm convinced that that's what happened.
Shut up, Ray.
Dang.
All right.
Shooting down.
While all this is happening, Orelion, still being in a bad mood, is kind of just like in awe of like seeing Maracar, the senseless fighting brute, just being so like welcoming and personable with all the people.
We gotta get it back out in the field. This ain't right.
It's like he's losing his touch.
I don't know. I think he's better here than he was in the battlefield. This is certainly more the life that he wants to live with Nyla.
I can definitely imagine Maracar having a bit of a comfortable belly. Like,
he's got a beer belly, just a little.
Dad,
he's getting a little put. Yeah,
too many honey cakes.
Little put. Yeah, it's the honey cakes, really. Yeah.
Maybe we were gone for too long.
Probably.
You do see that the foreigners here in the inn actually are they seem quite suspicious and I don't say secretive, but they're keeping themselves to themselves. But they definitely accept and will have like a bit of a smile on their face, some of them, when Maracar approaches.
He's popular.
The prancing pony continues to fill up as it gets dark, and it becomes busier and busier. More locals turn in to sort of almost even the balance, although there are more of the foreigners that have arrived as well. What are the four of you doing?
Do we get separate tables or?
Damrod is still standing in a corner in the kitchen, holding the 2 mugs of ale that Maracar gave him to take to
Oh
Rook,
no, he's still
like
has it.
forever ago. I don't know if Rook has actually gotten other ale, but Damrod's still standing there with at least with the 2 original ones that he was handed. Like Damrod's been through like several battles. He's been almost dead multiple times. He's I mean, he's getting real close to having 1 point of permanent shadow right now. Like he's been through some stuff. But being in this kitchen during like a busy hour like this is probably the scariest thing Damrod's ever experienced.
Is that taken from personal experience, Nathan?
Yes.
Oh no, trauma.
So much.
Mrs. Butterbur at some point would have just gone, "Oh, just give him here," and like took him off you, and then like shoved you towards a big barrel of water, where
He sits
like
was
there's dishes and stuff being chucked in, and I can imagine you got your sleeves now rolled up, and like you got your arms in there, you're washing everything.
He's
I'm
got a
still
big
thirsty.
he's got a big
You
trash
said
bag
you'd be
wrapped
back with me,
around.
and you never got back with me.
He's got a big trash bag wrapped around one arm, around his iron arm. No, he would definitely like once he's given something out of the way like this, I think he would prepare himself and embrace it and at least start offering some help here as penance for his sins against Orelion.
Well, we're thirsty, and he won't give us our brews.
You're bruised. I don't drink, remember?
Whatever.
I don't drink that well.
Well, no, he's a messy drunk, remember?
Aurelion's so mad at Damrod that Aurelion's just out there just pounding him down.
Oh, actually, that sounds way more fun. I will absolutely have like
Here we go.
I will just down an ale. Like 2 come out for you, and I just grab one without even looking at you and just drink it all.
I smash all of mine. Go. Why is it so warm? Are they supposed to be cold?
I mean,
sat out a
fancy
while.
chillers and elf.
They definitely did. Okay.
Because Rivendell's like in a mountain valley, so you got that ice cold river water running out of the mountains.
Well,
like
no, it's cool.
The beer and the ale here is actually rather good.
I call for 2 more. Slide.
Yeah, more comes.
Slide one over. Here you go.
Yeah, he drinks all of it, but he kind of like retches a little bit while he's drinking it, just because he's not really used to drinking. He hasn't in like several hundred years.
Yeah, and this isn't like wine. This is
that
strong
too.
Ale.
I imagine the first time he drank it, he was like he drank it so fast he couldn't even taste it. But like the second time, it's like the bitterness is hitting him.
Yeah, real frothy head on it and everything.
You drink this normally?
All the time. When I can find it. We can't find this in Rivendell.
Do you have this in Mirkwood?
No.
I mean, potentially.
Would
There might be some. Yeah, there might be some barrels come up from Lake Town.
Okay, few and far in between people make it and bring it through. This stuff's great.
It's too bitter, too dry. I don't know anything about drinking.
I just motion.
It's too.
I don't know, man.
Slide
2 more right.
another one. Slide another
Slide to the
one.
left.
Think about the lies.
Brooker, what are you doing?
I am being your therapist. Drink it.
And again, he does drink it much slower this time.
Rook, oh, it doesn't matter. I was going to ask what your constitution modifier is with your elves, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's not very high. It's like a 2.
The night goes on, and eventually the patrons begin to disappear. There was perhaps a little bit of cheer and song towards the end of the night. Some of the locals would start off by singing some of their local songs, and then in a lull, there would be some of the foreigners would sing their own sort of song that might have been similar, but has long since diverted in words or in tune. But the patrons begin to disperse. The foreigners seem to be stopping here at the inn, so they start to disappear and leave the common room, going back to rooms, leaving sort of the four of you, along with a few other patrons, one or two even perhaps passed out on the table.
Yeah, I would motion and be like, Barleyman, room for 2, please.
Oh, sort of stops and looks at you. Oh, have you been here before, have you?
Some months ago.
Some months ago. Oh. And then it sort of clicks the connection between Maracar and Damrod. Oh, that's right. That's right. I think I remember you stopping with those two before. That's right. What was it that you did again? Oh,
Nothing important.
Mind goes blank sometimes. It does. I think I might have one room left.
We'll take that. And I'll slide him. How much is it, Kevin?
I can't remember again. It is in one of the books somewhere. We'll say that you have the coin at this moment in time.
Yeah, I will give him a little bit more than what is necessary. Just message me later, and I can subtract that.
Will do. Oh, thank you very much. I'll get Hob to help you out.
I before he walks away, I say maybe a glass of water.
Aurelian's just like head down in his arms, like that kind of drunk.
Are you
So much for the big tough Orelion. Can't even handle 3 or 4 drinks.
He comes back with like a large pitcher of water, and some smaller wooden cups.
So thanks, man.
But also some bread that has been sliced, and a small little like jar of butter.
Oh man, that's for some what? This is great. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm sure Orelion will appreciate this in the morning.
Oh, remember, we have to use our human names.
I don't remember what your name is.
You're Leon Tigress. Guilford Godfrey.
Yeah, Gilbert will need this in the morning.
Forget about that.
Poor Gilbert. Can't handle his alcohol.
Has Damrod emerged out at any point?
Depends on if the dishes are done.
The last lot,
dishes are not done, sir.
Yes.
Get back in there.
The last lot has just been brought in and dumped in your wash bowl. Your hands are wet and wrinkly at this point.
Damrod has stepped out back once or twice and had a smoke break, but yeah, he has set himself to a task now, and he will be back here until the dishes are done.
Okay. Maracar, your honey cakes are in the oven. The last batch has just come out. The first batch has just come out. You've got one more batch in.
Cool.
All you have to do now is
They're
wait.
twice baked, right?
Twice baked.
Perfect.
I kind of
Yeah.
after
Yeah, he'll be up until that's all done.
So Damrod, eventually the dishes are done. Maracar, the honey cakes are twice baked.
I go
Cool.
find Damrod and I tell him
Um,
at some
okay.
point you're gonna need to go talk to him.
When his desire to kill me has ended, I plan to.
I don't think he would kill you, but I do think maybe a better explanation than the one that he did or did not get is warranted. I don't know
Damrod,
what the connection here is. I don't know how close they were or not, but maybe this is something you need to do.
Damrod kind of leans a little closer to you and like to the point where he can kind of whisper to you, and he says, "I don't think you were close enough to feel the energy that was coming off of Orelion."
Oh, I could see it. That's new. Not something I've seen before, but maybe now's not a good time, but you're probably gonna have to go and seek him out when he is sober.
I plan to. I need to speak with all of you at some point, anyways.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
We do have some things to discuss.
Seems we'll be at the table regardless.
Could you see to it that Aurelion doesn't, and he kind of seems like almost sheepish to say all this, but see to it that Aurelion doesn't just brood over this all night?
I can't make that promise, but I can try.
Thank you. I'm assuming that because I got here the same day that they did, I haven't been able to secure a room yet. So I guess at that point
we have room together.
He would look to Rook and he would say, "I now that my task is done, I must go find a room."
Maracar has a room.
Oh, good, because I was about to
Yeah,
talk.
you can stay with me, man. You see Damrod like curled up at the edge of the bed.
Like a cat?
And Aurelion wakes up and goes like, "What are you doing?"
I'll kill you for this!
Just like trying not to bother Aurelion, but
Aurelion
has,
starts
a
to
small
hover and
piece of
crackle again.
blanket over his iron.
I think that Damrod would be okay with staying with Maracar if Maracar asked him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wouldn't be the first
Maracar would have
time.
offered, like during the service, he would have said something like, "Hey, did you have a room while you're in town?" And then if you said no, then he'd offer to let you stay with him.
Would be very much appreciated, Maracar. seems
Oh,
rather busy
anything for
around
you,
here.
buddy. We're friends. Oh man, you have no idea.
He snores. He smells funny.
You guys have roomed together before, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Yeah.
been to war together,
Yeah, that's
so
last time we were
Oh
here.
yeah.
Or wars.
Been to war.
In a war.
I think after
Oh, yeah.
the trauma of the kitchen, then I think Damrod might secure some type of leftovers if there's any left, even if it's like just bread, like a piece of bread and a piece of cheese or something like that.
Yeah.
And then try to head off to bed.
Yeah. There's a little bit of hardy stew left. They usually keep some left over for the next sort of morning day, just for emergencies if someone comes in late or if someone has to leave early and they want to take some.
Smart business.
Yes, I would like to have
God,
some.
Parliament runs a fantastic establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have those.
It's going to be the first franchise. Prancing Ponies going to be the first franchise in Middle Earth.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd stay there.
They have these loaded trenches where they sort of cut the top off, scoop out the bread, put like everything into it, then put the top back on, wrap it in a cloth, tie it up, and then they package the bread from inside out, and that's sort of like a good travel ration. Sometimes they'll do it with like bacon,
Yeah.
mushroom, sausage, egg, tomato. You know, put it all in this bread, put the lid back on, wrap it up, send it out. Yeah.
Kevin, you're going to have to stop, or we're going to have to end early so I can go get food.
If you are playing a Lord of the Rings game and you're not describing in great detail every piece of food, you're doing it wrong.
No, that's actually A Song of Ice and Fire and George R. R. Martin.
True.
That's what
And
he
second,
does.
close second though.
Yeah.
How late is it?
It's pretty late now. Probably getting to midnight.
Oof. Gotcha.
No, probably 11. All the tidying up is sort of done and dusted. Your
Okay.
rice baked honey cakes are out.
Sure. Maracar would probably spend a little more time packaging them up, and then first thing in the morning, he'd plan to go out to the refugees and pass out as many honey cakes as he can.
Mm.
But he would take 3 honey cakes, and then 4 honey cakes because he's got to have one. And he'd package them up, and then he would kind of give a real light knock on the elves' door, and then leave 2 honey cakes at their door, and then kind of scurry off. And then he'd leave 1 honey cake by Damrod's little nightstand, and then he'd have his honey cake before going to bed.
And that's why he's got this podgy belly, because he's eating that late at night.
He's a little pudgy.
Mm-hmm. Call him Dad Bod Maracar.
All right,
I don't know if the elves would answer to the knock, but you would find
I
the
would.
honey cakes outside.
I grab them, bring them in the room. Kind of like, ooh, really on the smell.
He'll eat one.
Just reach those snatches it.
Yeah, 100%.
After eating it, you feel some of the weariness and tiredness of the road leave you, and you feel a little bit more invigorated. Nate, I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but my plan is for the honey cakes to be also the same as like a good berry. In restore
that's cool.
and restore 1 HP. for each one you eat.
I love it.
Now I want to go get a honey bun.
It will take a minute to eat, so it's not like you can just take one in the middle of combat. But
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because if you like eat it
And then
immediately, you have to wash your
it's it
hands.
relieve.
Sticky.
Yeah, your bow's gonna be all sticky if you don't.
They relieve, don't they relieve like level of exhaustion as well?
yeah, that's it. So that's the normal effect. But you can. They will also heal 1 HP.
Nice. Yeah, I looked up. I was actually talking about this at work with someone. We were talking about the cookbook for Lord of the Rings, and they
Okay.
have the twice baked honey cakes, and they're just little cupcakes.
Aw.
So,
Whenever we
yeah,
hang out, we should make
yeah.
those.
So I thought that,
I
and you're not going to show up anyway. So
Shut up.
Oh, dang.
I
Shade
I imagine them being more like flapjacks or something because they're just good travel rations.
yeah, but do you bake a flapjack?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you?
It's
What
twice
do
baked.
you
It
people
does.
call flapjacks?
It's twice
Like
baked. It
what is
doesn't.
like a
Doesn't have to be. Like you can bake it after it's cooked.
Mhm.
Like bake on
That's
the
true.
glaze or whatever. That can be the twice
Oh.
bake aspect.
You're making it sound like a fritter or like a donut or something.
Dude, I'm getting
Yeah,
so
right?
hungry right now.
I know.
I want to go to the
donut
gas
now.
station and get like
See,
four
I
honey
should have
buns.
ordered.
Yeah, I mean, you think you could add some blueberries in there? You know.
Oh yeah.
Some bananas.
Mhm.
Where are you gonna get bananas this time of year?
We all got quiet because
Hungry.
we're all picturing this food that we're talking about.
Yeah.
See if I can get my wife to go get it.
You all rest and recover, and in the morning you can come out of your rooms at whatever time you wish to. Breakfast is being prepared for everybody. Again, it's pretty busy because of the amount of people that are stopping here in the pony at the moment.
I try my best to snag a bath from Knob before the breakfast rush comes in.
Yeah, you can do that. You can grab a bath and soak in it for a good time. Perhaps with a towel wrapped around your head to cover your ears.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll be on the outside of the door. It's like, so are you still gonna kill Damrod when you see him, or are you over that?
I'm not gonna kill him.
You sure?
The plan was never to kill him.
Are you gonna hurt him?
Is this a like super private area, like a 1 tub per stall type of thing, or
I said I was
this
on the outside of the door.
I know this is not for Rook. I'm asking for a very specific reason.
Oh no, I think I know where this is.
Are you bathing?
No, I think there are multiples with curtains and whatnot.
So Rook is asking all of this, and I guess it's up to Rook whether he notices, because I don't think Damrod's hiding it, but Damrod's walking that direction as Rook's asking this, and he just stops because he's waiting for the answer, realizing that Orelion's in there before he enters.
By the way, this is super early in the morning. Yeah, you're probably looking at like 4 in the morning.
Honestly, if anyone's going to get up that early, it's probably going to be Damrod.
Yeah, still on travel time.
Mm-hmm.
Aurelion, you didn't answer. Are you gonna hurt him?
Oh, sorry, didn't hear you. And then he refuses to not answer.
So, oh no. He just looks at Damrod and he's just like,
You just hear from inside Aurelion going, well, of course I'm
Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll be sure to.
I kicked the door.
I think that's the point when Damrod enters and heads to take his bath.
Aurelion would like look over him and maintain eye contact, and then just go back to scrubbing himself, like he didn't even notice.
This is gonna end so badly, but it's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward
So
to.
it's okay. So it's okay.
It's gonna be fine as long as it's entertaining.
Oh, we'll make it entertaining. I have a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Damrod hasn't actually came for a bath. He's just come to sleep because of Maracar's snoring.
Yeah, he's
scrubbing
full on
himself.
hunk.
You're probably not
That's how
wrong.
Damrod died. He passed out in the bath. Or did
It had nothing to do with Aurelion being in the same room.
Yeah, that's why I
with just
said.
the
Or
two of
did
them
Aurelion,
together.
like drown him or something. Shh. One of you's gonna die.
Yeah, Damrod prepares, gets in whatever apparatus there is for bathing here.
I believe it's called a bathtub.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they have barrels or tubs or troughs or what. Okay, all right. I don't know what they bathe in Middle Earth. Is this a clawfoot tub with piped running water? I mean, I don't know.
No, it's it'll be hot water, poured in using buckets.
So Damrod gets prepared and settles in and through the closed curtain, at least for the moment, separating the two tubs. Says,
Holy shit!
What was
doesn't
that?
say that.
It was one of the rabid
This is
dogs
full
in
on.
the end. Just
I'm
mad
so
about
sorry.
something. He was mad.
The cat decided to jump on the bed, and the dogs didn't like that.
Damrod says, I knew you were mad, but I didn't think you were that mad. No, Damrod says, are you in a mindset to be able to talk about yesterday?
I'm perfectly fine if that's what you're asking. Yes, I can speak.
Well, that's another lie.
Didn't we say no more lies? Like, what the heck? Y'all are
Yeah, and how
failing.
many lies have we told since
You guys are
then?
all failing at this.
It's only been
It's been
2
Maracar.
weeks since we
And
saw you,
Rook.
Maracar.
Oh.
I forgot about that one. Oops.
Damrod says, I'm not sure exactly how to make things right. As I said, I wasn't sure your intentions when I originally said that my father had passed. And beyond that, just simply dealing with everything that we've dealt with since then kind of overshadowed taking the time to explain. That is wrong of me and wrong on my part, and you should not have had to find out the way that you found out.
Thank you for acknowledging that, and I do accept it. I don't really know where this leaves us going forward. But I will say, had things been different, had this been a mission requiring a little less secrecy, or if there was someone else to replace you with, then we would not be having this conversation. You and I would not be speaking at all. I do need you. And for the time being, that's where we will stand.
Damn.
Fair enough. I have no right to ask you or Rook for any explanation of your travels or even for a favor for that matter, but
I hear a butt coming.
Yes, I am potentially in need of help as well. Well, Bree may be in need of help. I'm not sure it's something that I can handle alone, or even with simply the help of Maracar. If you
Well,
see fit at some point to hear me out or even to talk again, I, I would be very grateful.
Bree has done us no wrong. I don't see why they should suffer. I'd be willing to help, whether Rook is or not. We know he is, but he has his own autonomy. It's up to him.
Rook will go anywhere that you go.
I'm aware, but I also believe that if he thought that there was some right to be had in helping Bree and I were not to help, then he would. He's a kind soul like that.
Well, he would spend at least a day trying to convince you to help before he helped.
I won't pretend that's wrong.
That's pretty accurate.
And he kind of just like looks off, like kind of looking towards the door, and he'll kind of drop his voice. He'll say, I have no idea why he sticks to my side like he does. He should have better company than I am. But regardless, I'm lucky to have him.
I think that Rook may be the one that sees through your demeanor. I think Rook
Yeah, he's
sees...
looking at you like kind of raising an eyebrow, like choose your words carefully.
I think Rook sees and knows who you really are, and sees the ways that you've changed over this quest. And I think that he wants to make sure that you're okay.
I can accept that. I will say, though, part of my inclusion of him is more because he's the only family I have left here. But besides our bond, I'm not quite sure what keeps him coming back to my side. I don't think I don't need an explanation. But regardless, Rook is here for the long haul, and he will help you. I know that.
I think the same thing that keeps him coming back is the same thing that keeps Maracar coming back, even seeing everything that we've been through and done, and the pain that we've caused each other.
I won't pretend that. Do not take this as a bonding experience. But those two certainly haven't seen as much of the horrors of Middle Earth as we have. They're better for it, I'd say. Like children.
I think, as you say, that Orelion and Damrod is getting into the bath, you probably see a lot more far more scars on his back than you might have been, like on his body. You can see that he has been involved in many things since you probably last seen him.
Yeah, I'll take note of that, but not comment on it for the time being.
Some may be still looking fresh.
Hmm.
You know, maybe within the last few weeks or so.
Damrod might actually like be struggling to drop all the way down into this tub because of
Okay,
something like that.
with that, you just hear Aurelian like sigh really loud and the water kind of moving, and he'll say, "Those scars look terrible. You have not been keeping good care of them. What have you been doing? Don't hold on. I will go to my room. I've got some poultice that can probably help." And he will.
Maracar doesn't exactly know how to bind a wound the way that.
You left Maracar in charge of
Oh
this?
no, you didn't.
I would sooner bandage my own back.
Sometimes they are out of reach, and you have to rely on others.
And he puts on his clothes again and kind of wringing out his hair, and he will just look back and be like, "Again, this is not bonding." And he will go out of the room and grab something for that. I imagine that maybe he has like some home remedy that can help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he will come back and like apply it and be like, "You'll be no good to anyone if you die of infection."
He's not like rubbing. He's just like, Psh,
Yeah.
you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Get away.
Like using
still
your thumb
feel
and
it.
actually getting into the wound and like
Yeah, like
rubbing.
digging it into the wound, like,
Mhm.
yeah, right in there.
Gotta get the bacteria out.
Yeah.
Damrod's just sitting there taking it, and he's like,
China
"This is still less painful than when Maracar did it." No. Damrod will say one last thing to Aurelion as Aurelion's kind of helping. I can't speak for what you and Rook went through while you were gone, but don't discount Marikar's experiences. He may be jubilant and maybe a bit of bubbling energy or happiness or whatever, but he saw a lot and fought well in our travels.
I did not mean to discredit that. I was simply stating that he deserves a life free from whatever we are going through. He deserves to find that girl and to find happiness.
He will if I can help it.
Well, I thought that leaving him here with you for however long we were gone would be enough to find her. But no, that quest continues.
I don't know which one he loves more, making those honey cakes or Nyla.
He's gonna roll his eyes at that.
What you don't know is Nyla taught Maracar how to make them.
Aww.
Oh,
That's why he won't stop making them.
Aww.
I really hope she's alive somewhere because
I feel like she must be.
Kevin's not that mean, right?
I mean, who was it that he tried to kill last campaign?
Surely not a main character of the main canon of Lord of the Rings. Surely not.
I was talking about how he was trying to kill, Raisin was going to kill Orden.
And let Caraxus die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we already talked about that. Ray Chin was just calling his bluff. He didn't think he was actually going to do it. That's how much confidence he had.
Yeah.
Sure, buddy. Whatever helps you sleep.
He was already at that point thinking, this one is strong.
Strong.
You know what? Maybe I could
Strike
get.
him down.
That's exactly what he said.
Let the dark side fill.
The after your bath and patching up, you can make your way to the common room. As I said, the common room is pretty full for this morning, but that's because of how many people are actually stopping here in the inn. What time will Maracar get up? Normal time for breakfast?
Yeah, he'd probably be up at like 6 or 7. That's kind of his usual time. But he'd get up, he'd grab his sack of cakes, and he'd like immediately like get out of the bed, put on clothes, grab his sack, and then head out to the refugees.
Yeah, I mean, do you have breakfast with the others at all?
No, he'd come back. He'd maybe only. I assume like the honey cakes go pretty quick. So he'd be back maybe hour and a half.
You've actually found some oldish bacon, and you've actually put some bacon into the honey cakes to get that like sweet salt sort of.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, sweet and fuzzy.
I dig it.
The three of you then, you all are in not the common room, but a side room. Thanks to Maracar's aid around the place. This gave you a little bit of extra weight and credence, and Barleyman knows Damrod pretty well as well now. And we'll give some leniency to Damrod in regards to where you can go and sit. And there's a small side, quiet solar room that you guys can go and sit in and have some breakfast brought to you. Some non-greasy mushrooms for Orelion.
Oh, he would ask for extra grease actually, because he's still nursing that hangover.
You want them the Maracar way?
Yes, please. This is probably the only time you've ever heard Orelion say please. Like in a serious, non-sarcastic tone.
So the three of you are sitting around a table. Is there anything that you would discuss?
Damrod would kind of relate part of the. He would relate his part of what happened while the party was split, leaving some of Maracar's stuff, so that Maracar can tell part of the story as well, especially in the wars and battles that they fought. And he probably would save the concerns he has about Bree for after Orelion and Rook have shared their stories, and Maracar has shared his story with Orelion and Rook. But at some point in the conversation, Damrod would bring up his concerns. Like I said, probably towards the end of the conversation.
Yeah, Aurelian would absolutely suggest that maybe at some point they should finish up their breakfast, maybe when Maracar gets here, so they can speak in private about some of these concerns.
Okay. With that, you've eaten your breakfast, and after maybe probably 2 hours, Maracar arrives back. So maybe like 9, half 9ish, something like that. I'm guessing. Maracar would come back in, looking satisfied with himself.
It's his only bit of happiness these days.
Oh.
That and making the
handing out little bits of Nyla's love.
Oh.
Yeah, he keeps that secret though. That's his secret. We get to know about it. Yeah, so he'd come in with like just a plate of like bacon and just ham. You know, bacon and eggs and like slices of ham, and he'd sit down and he'd kind of like look at the vibe of the table and see if everyone's kind of made up from yesterday, and he'd like start eating and be like, "Good morning," and then he'd kind of like specifically look at Aurelion to get like Aurelion's vibe.
He's annoyed, but like less so than before. And also, he and Damrod are sitting at the same table, so that can probably tell you that that murder is not being discussed yet.
Good.
But also, like whenever we would hang out before, maybe Orelion and Damrod would speak a little bit more, and they are currently like not making any kind of small talk.
Yeah.
So not 100%.
Fair enough, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd just be like, so what brings everyone back to Bree?
Well, we made some headway in the research we were doing. I think it might be best to talk about this where prying ears are not. We never dealt with Gror, and he might still be out there. His people might still be out there.
I haven't heard anything about the no names or whatever they're called.
Right hands?
Yeah, the red hands.
And Aurelion would kind of pull out the journal and like show it to him and say, I have made some headway in reading this. And I imagine at some point he would just, whenever it's like a little bit quieter, he would like get up and like motion everyone out to somewhere a little bit more private, like maybe their rooms.
Yeah. You can find a more private room. Maracar actually has a corner room, which is definitely a little bit more isolated.
Kind of a big deal around here, guys.
So he would relate to you guys that from the journal, he knows that the journal was written by Nathaniel Hefferton, who shares the same family name as Timaeus, and he had a friend named Egri from Bree, who searched the barrows down. He met a dwarf and his son named Gon and Gror. They met an associate named Gorlank, who is the... I described him previously as the elf white supremacist, and I still think that holds true. He doesn't like Noldor. And Nathaniel was betrayed by a woman named Beryless, who stole the ring. And we need to find her. And I imagine maybe Gror is looking the same way. I don't know if he knows that Beryless likely has the ring.
But we should probably get to her before he does.
More than likely, yes.
Do we have any leads on where to look for her?
So I asked Kevin questions and I completely forgot what the answers were. I meant to write them down, but I think I forgot. They're in a VOD somewhere.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back to the VOD.
Yeah, sorry.
The VOD's still up, right?
Yeah, but it should be. Kevin, if you've got anything that I would know, that'd be lovely.
So in there was talk of a ranger saving Nathaniel.
Yes, what was his name? I can't remember.
It was Talendil.
Talendil.
I'll post that just in the middle of.
Thank you.
on there.
And I will relate that and ask Damrod if he might know anyone by that name.
Oh no, sorry. Actually, it's not Talendil. Um, the name wasn't mentioned. It was just the ranger. Yeah. Talendil will relate to something shortly.
And I will relate the information. Does the name Barilus or Nathaniel Hefferton or Egri, any of that ring a bell to you, the Ranger?
Would any of those names be familiar to me?
Only the fact that Nathaniel, as Aurelian has pointed out, shares the same name as Timaeus and Tom. Other than that, none of those names will mean anything to yourself. Does Aurelion mention a ranger at all?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You you would know that obviously it's very likely that a ranger would have could have saved him and brought him back to Bree. What ranger that is, you're not sure. You've not heard any tales about it, but you could certainly try and find out if you wished.
Oh, quite fortunate that your father is alive. Perhaps you can ask him.
Do you have any idea when this might have taken place?
Not long ago. Or no, that's not right. That's wrong. Well, I know that 60 years ago, the dwarf that was in the ruins of Eregion in the vault, that was one of the dwarfs that was mentioned here. I believe that it was quite some time ago that they obtained the ring, and they have since been using it up until Timaeus's death, and I assume also Nathaniel's death, when the ring was stolen from him. Nathaniel was the gentleman who was at the bottom of the Black Barrel. So his skeleton was far from fresh.
That
Yeah,
may
the dates would have probably put the death of Nathaniel as maybe about 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
there may be hope that someone here in Bree might know that incident.
Do you think, what, Tom would know that? Did he ever recover?
First of all, did Tom recover, and how old is Tom?
Tom was like 18.
Yeah, but also his uncle told him lots of stories, so maybe. And also he worked with Gror, so at the very least he might know where,
Tom,
have some information.
yeah, Tom did recover. It was a difficult winter where the boy's strength hasn't quite returned still. He's got ill quite often. Yeah, the wound still where he got stabbed by Gron still plays him up. But he's alive. He just won't do any more sort of traveling. Certainly not in the short term.
Well, good, because he's an idiot.
Yeah, stupid. I don't know why you freaking saved him.
We
Shouldn't
we
have
could
died.
we could ask Tom. I don't believe he gets out much since the incident. He's had a rough go of it, at least while we were here.
And I figure he'd owe us for saving his life.
At the very least, one of Maracar's honey cakes will probably get him talking. They usually get everyone else talking.
Maracar, was that you who brought those to our room last night?
Oh, yeah. It seemed like a pretty heavy day, so I thought some honey cakes would help. Oh, I started making honey cakes since you a couple weeks ago when you guys left.
Well, they were delicious, thank you.
And you see he gets a real big smile on his face when you say that.
That's at least what Brooke was telling me.
He frowns a little bit.
I never said I shared them. I just said I took them.
I think that we at least have a direction to start in looking for your item, Orelion. I think we also may have a problem here in Bree.
Yes, you're saying you needed to talk to
You-
us.
You mentioned this. What sort of problem?
This may be out of my particular realm of work, but needs to be done, or at least looked into. Maracar may know more. I haven't had a chance to talk to Maracar about it either, but I think that part of the problem with all of the refugees being trapped outside is I do not believe that the Reeve, and he's like, even though we're in this private room, he's gotten quieter, kind of leaned into all of you. He's being a lot quieter, even than he was about the search we're on. I'm not entirely convinced that the Reeve is running free. I think that his assistant is making the decisions and essentially controlling the Reeve.
When you say controlling, do you mean magic or simply that he has a silver tongue?
Could be either. I've been unable to get to actually speak to the Reeve. I've merely seen him through a half-open door.
Maracar, you work for the Reeve. What are
Mhm.
your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, I haven't really talked to the Reeve at all since I've been here, but I mean, he's delegated his duties to his what's this guy's name called? The assistant Reeve.
Cole.
Cole. Yeah, he's delegated his duties to Cole, and I assume Cole runs everything by the Reeve so that he can actually make the decisions. You know, he's under a lot of stress lately, with everything going on. What makes you think that Cole is manipulating the Reeve?
Well,
How
Mar-
long ago was it actually that we were here the first time? Like 6 months or so?
Um, a little bit more than 6 months, I think. It's probably late April, I reckon, mid-April, and it was probably you're looking at September, August.
So, when Maracar asks this, Damrod says, well, if all of you remember, when we were here X amount of months ago, however many months it was, we were not able to speak with the Reeve then either. And he wasn't dealing with things such as the people outside the gates. He wouldn't even speak to us about the troll, if I'm not mistaken.
and not to mention, if he were simply running things through the Reeve, then why would he need to be in charge? Why would the Reeve not be in charge?
Well,
This
the
doesn't
Reeve
make-
is in charge.
Is he then?
Is he though?
Well, yeah, that's why he's the Reeve. If Cole was in charge, he'd be the Reeve, but he's the assistant to the Reeve.
Could it be that the Reeve has been disposed of, not just by magical means, but by permanent means.
They have someone at least posing as the Reeve then, because as I
Have
said,
you seen him?
I did see him seated at a table, but as I said, it was through a half-open door. Um, at least that's what they referred. That's the person they referred to as the Reeve. But again, when we were here 8 months ago about the troll, we weren't allowed to see the Reeve because he was too busy. And now again, I've asked for an audience with the Reeve and been told at least a week before I can see him.
I think we should try to see the Reeve by less than normal means.
Didn't the people on the wall say that the Reeve would be speaking to the refugees today?
Or speaking about it at the very least?
I can't
Yeah, would
remember
Maracar
if I
know
heard
about
that or
that?
misheard that or
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. They definitely said that the Reeve would address them today.
Yeah. Now, is that something that they have said in the past and then Cole would come out? Or has the Reeve come out before and like has anyone seen the Reeve?
um,
or the husk we know of as the Reeve?
Is this
Yeah.
weekends at Bernie's?
The
yes,
Reeve,
yes.
formerly known as Reeve.
Yeah, he would have when they first arrived and the problem first gathered. He came out and addressed them.
And then today, like it's the morning time, so later today, the Reeve's supposed to go out.
Although the Cole has been out since then to sort of say on behalf of the Reeve, we are still looking at it. Yesterday it was the first warden that said it. That the Reeve's going to be out tomorrow to address you all.
Maybe we can
Yeah.
kidnap his lackey.
Whoa! Do
Rook,
we need to
let's
stoop to kidnapping? I mean,
not
I feel
not
like you
yet.
guys are kind of grasping at grass here. I haven't seen anything really weird out of this whole situation. I mean, yeah, the Reeve kind of spends a lot of time indoors, but I mean, let's be real, he's getting kind of old. You know, he's like what, 35? Something like that. He's kind of getting up there. He's he might just need a little more of a break. I think you guys are really stressing about this a little much.
Well, the people outside the gate are stressing about it even more. How long will they be?
I agree. Yeah, it's terrible. Whatever happened back in their homeland, I think would be the actual. Figuring that out would be more beneficial than worrying about the Reeve.
Well, Maracar, let me ask you, how easy is it to go and deal with an entire band of orcs that are rampaging across these people's homelands? And how easy is it to convince one man to let some people in? We have to tackle the problems we know we can solve first. Or else all we're going to be doing is throwing ourselves.
I'm not saying I want to go to war with a band of orcs. That's not necessarily what I'm promoting here, but I think the Reeve is doing his best, and I think he's just a little more prone to being overwhelmed. This whole idea of like he's being body snaked is kind of crazy, don't you think?
Maracar, please don't use that term again. I don't know that it means what you think it means.
Body snaked?
Sounds like some Mario crap right here.
I don't know that anything is happening for sure. Hence the reason why I'm not willing to resort to kidnapping just yet, and Damrod
Everyone
looks over
looks
to everyone looks at Rook.
It was just a suggestion. Maybe we can get a hold of the guy that the guy that speaks for him.
Rook's like, come on, we're just brainstorming here.
Yeah, you gotta throw out the crazy ideas first.
I don't hear Orelion coming up with anything.
Ain't no bad ideas in brainstorming.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
For the first time, I think Damrod looks at Orelion and like catches Aurelion's eye for a second, and then looks over at Rook as in like, could you please, like.
At the very least, you do have Rook and I now. Rook is a master of sneaking into places he's not meant to be. If we could maybe get into the Reed stronghold.
Snuck into our hearts.
Yeah, he did. Love that boy.
Creeping in.
Yeah.
Perhaps he can sneak in and find some evidence. If not, I have been working on a few new sorts of magic with Elrond. Maybe
we should
I could get
go
this
together.
Maybe we should. I'm not the most stealthy, but
I've got a disguise kit.
what good will that do?
Disguise you.
Oh, you got
Thank you.
makeup?
I've got all kinds of stuff in there, bro.
At the very least, maybe I can somehow make them think that we were supposed to be there. I don't like resorting to magic. I feel like the eye of you-know-who is upon me when I do, but maybe drastic circumstances call for drastic measures.
I don't want to stir up anything in Bree if we can avoid it. I just want to make sure that things are being handled the way they should be.
And we will make sure.
I just have this feeling that Cole is running the show. And
maybe
when he shouldn't be.
Maybe if you and Maracar could cause a distraction somewhere where Cole has to go, we can sneak in behind and go talk to the Reeve.
And best case scenario, this was all for nothing. We've only lost, a few hours. Maybe get into some trouble. Rook and I have recently been reminded that we're very good at getting out of trouble.
Yeah. He starts smiling. Yeah.
Here might be an alternate plan, so we don't really cause a lot of ruckus around here. Why don't we just put in? I mean, it's only like 32 pages of paperwork to see the ring. So
Tell
if we
you what,
just fill
Maracar, if you want to get started on the paperwork, we will get back.
What a world this has turned into, where the illiterate Bjorning is the one petitioning for paperwork, while I'm suggesting that we sneak in.
I mean, what a wild world that is. Maracar says, he's like, well, like, in a world of law and order, there are certain processes that you need to follow to keep the civilization going strong. That's what I learned that the other day when we were doing training as one of the guards.
Who are you?
America.
This is another layer of worry, Maracar. Cole says that he has me on the list to see the Reeve in a week. I did no paperwork.
Oh, well, that's great. So you're already being expedited.
We don't have a week to wait.
Why not?
These people could die outside in a matter of days, being exposed to bandits, the weather. Who knows what they're fleeing from?
Those gates could come down in a week if the people get desperate enough.
Not to mention, they're more likely to, attack caravans coming in with supplies? They could possibly starve the people of Bree.
You don't think that would happen? Why would they do that?
Because how many supplies do they have? Yes, they're starving. They
We
surely
try to
don't.
go out there as much as we can and give them food and water and
enough.
try to help them out.
And maybe they're content with that now, but they're not animals. They know that they can get in and get everything they need here.
Maracar, you would know that there are still more arriving.
Mm-hmm. This
Well, what if we all go talk to Cole and see if we can, instead of a week, maybe like a day or two or something like that. Or maybe we can bring the Reeve gifts.
Okay, Damrod, do you have anything that goes boom that you can set off on the other side of town?
Look, we're not kidnapping anyone, and we're not blowing anything up.
I didn't say
You-
blow anything up. I said cause a ruckus on
Yeah.
the other side of town.
you said go
That
You
boom.
specifically said go boom, and we
It
have
could
a
be an open
town.
area. It doesn't have to be a building.
Rook.
We have a
Yeah,
town
American.
And then Cole
surrounded
goes
by.
over there to inspect what happened, and then me and Orelion creep in the back, and we're like, "Hey, yo, Reeve, what's up?"
Reeve.
We have a town surrounded by who knows how many people that could panic over something like that, and we could
That could
end
have
up
been-
where we're worried about right now and what we're trying to prevent right now in less than a week.
I hadn't thought of that.
That's
Yeah,
also the
I don't think
danger of
terrorism is going to help out here.
That's also the
Yeah.
danger of having so many people outside of the gates. Those people are not safe, but Bree is also not safe if someone decided to attack. If a
Well, then
band of
Cole's
orcs
gonna
made
have
their
to
way
let us
here,
in. Then Cole's just gonna have to listen to reason,
I
by force or by reason.
don't think going boom is necessarily the answer. I think that somewhere in the middle we'll find our solution. If we can just get in, then we can figure something out. Well, you and maybe, why don't you and Maracar make an appeal to see the read? At the very best, it works. At the very least, then Cole is distracted and me and Brooke can look into this. And again, best case scenario, nothing's wrong, and we can go about our day. We've only lost, just a day.
Okay.
I agree. I think that's where we start.
But be particularly argumentative to keep him company.
I mean, realistically, I am part of the guards now. From what I can tell, it's a pretty big deal. I could probably just walk in and talk to the Reeve. I'm sure I'm sure you guys are blowing this whole thing out of proportion.
Well, again, best case scenario. Let's be hopeful that that's the case. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
I
Oh, that's good. Did you come up with that?
Yes, I did.
More
That's really
lies.
good.
He's just not even looking at Maracar as he says that.
Yes, I did.
Anyway,
Maracar, I appreciate your positivity. I once heard a story of a member of a party that also thought the world was going to be handed to them. Specifically, thought a group of people were going to pay the party by giving them a horse and wagon for saving their daughter.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen, but it was a very special person to think that would happen and someone would be that nice. I'd never lose that aspect, Maracar.
Maracar just slowly nods his head.
Probably thinking that's a real hefty price, a horse and a wagon.
I think I know what you're referring
Who's
to.
got that
I'm not
kind of
sure.
money?
Oh, you do.
Well, Maracar, slurps up the last of his meat and eggs, and and he goes, "Well, might as well get going, huh?"
And with that, we will end it there for tonight. So your plan is to try and speak to the Reeve, right?
That's the best case, yes.
Potentially try and speak to Tom.
Sounds boring.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we have time.
And then potentially you might want to go and speak to Halberad.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think Damrod wants to do that, but we might have to. It might be necessary to smooth things over.
Damrod's gonna be like, "Listen, I'm just gonna go ahead a little ways just to just to scout it out a little bit. It might be dangerous."
And he runs ahead and he's like, Dad, they're going to tell you some crazy stuff.
Don't believe any of it.
Don't trust them.
Orelion lies all the time.
Yep. Like he shows up and he's like, yeah, you're not going to become a mind flayer. It's fine.
Right. So that is everything. A great session, everyone. No rolling involved because you're so in tune with your characters at the moment. You can just literally role play the whole story.
We did a little
Great.
bit of
No,
role.
it's great. Yeah, a little bit. No, it's absolutely great.
I like the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great session.
Yeah, no, it was a good session. Kevin didn't really have a whole lot of
Kevin's
screen
just
time.
like,
Yeah, sorry, Kevin.
But
oh, we're going here. Yeah, you guys are here. Go.
that's all I had to do. Was just like make sure that the scenes were kept rolling
Yeah.
over. And
he's the people like backstage, like pulling the ropes, and, like changing the curtains and
Listen,
scenes.
normally I'd feel
That's
really
I mean that's
bad,
a DM,
but
right?
normally I'd
Yeah.
feel really bad, but after the kind of week Kevin's had, I think he deserves some rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a nap, Kevin. We got this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have got to get off because I've got to go to work in the morning. So
Yeah, good
You're
luck,
not playing
man.
tomorrow?
All right, buddy. Isn't it almost morning anyway?
It probably is morning.
It's
Basically.
2 o'clock almost.
Jeez, man, yeah, go to bed.
No, Charlie, no game tomorrow.
I get the pout.
Parker is on holiday.
Damn,
And so
Parker.
that's why we're going to aim for next Tuesday for the session instead.
You Brits and your holidays.
Yeah. So we're going to look to do, Charlie, 1 week on a Thursday, 1 week on a Tuesday, and alternate.
Fine
Okay.
by me.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, love the session. Again, you guys are so in tune with your characters, right? Like as it is right now, that yeah, you can just I can just let it go and just let you guys role play everything out. It's brilliant. Perhaps before you jump off, if you've got time, you'd like to tell everyone. I'm going to get off, but perhaps you'd like to tell everyone what you got on for your level ups and what you did for your level ups. How's that
They can
sound?
wait.
Now, everyone.
Yeah.
I am going to get off though, guys. So I will
Yeah.
catch you in another dimension.
All right, Kevin. See ya. Before
Kevin,
Kevin,
The thing.
you're welcome to leave, Kevin. But before everyone else dips out, we have a fellow streamer over here that is real close to hitting affiliate. Ray,
Yeah.
I believe, got her 50th
Oh.
follower today. So we've got that already. Ray's got the hour streamed already. We're literally 0.5 away from the average viewer count that we need to get Ray to get
0.2.
affiliate. 0.2 away from the
So what
average
happens
viewer
when-
count
what happens
to
when you
get Ray.
affiliate?
You can get subscriptions, which pays the streamer a little bit. People can send you bits, which also pays the streamer a little bit. You run ads, which pays the streamer like a penny for every 1,500 hours of ads you watch or something like that. No, it's better than that. But yeah, you get ads on your channel. You can also do channel point stuff. which is how we do all the sound alerts and stuff on my regular game streams and stuff like that. I personally am excited to see what Ray can do with some of that. Ray can also draw up some of her emotes and add emotes. There's just a lot of different stuff that opens up when you get affiliate. It helps other people be able to support their favorite streamers a little bit once you hit that affiliate status.
Support
And Ray is
yeah.
Ray is super close, and I think Ray deserves it. Like, she does the VTuber thing, but like Nate was saying
sure.
before we actually stream, there's great camera presence. It's a great stream, and just when I see some of Ray's clips, just some of the off the wall things that Ray says on stream, just gold, just great.
Exactly.
So,
thank you guys. That's so sweet.
And a lot of it is because like it's just so wholesome.
Yeah.
It's the last clip I just posted was me talking about how I'm going to like smooch my vampire boyfriend and then we're going to slit each other's throats.
But it was in the most wholesome way. You said it so wholesomely.
Thank you.
It's just exactly what.
It's like you try to be mean, but you're. Like I'll send you guys the picture, but you're like the Chihuahua that has armor on. He thinks he's way more.
I don't know, man. If you saw the things I've done in Baldur's Gate, you would not say that.
Yeah. She done kicked a squirrel.
No, I did not. You told me to kick the squirrel.
I did tell you to kick the squirrel.
This
And then I saw what happens when you kick the squirrel.
But I do plan to play some more Baldur's Gate this weekend. Hopefully romance that vampire boy. I saw a great clip from the narrator of the game, and she was like, if you fancy Asterion, then consider therapy. And I'm like, yeah, that's true.
What day?
I'm planning to go on Friday, I believe, unless something happens. Then maybe Saturday or Sunday. Well, not Sunday. No, not Sunday. I'm busy.
Yeah, Sundays
Hopefully
are for
I can catch it Friday then, because Saturday I'll be busy.
But I always post on Twitter when I'm going live, as well as in Nathan's Discord, which is Dimension 119 on Dimension Space 119 on Discord. Be sure to follow.
Yep, the link is in the chat. Just watch for those, follow Ray, watch for those notifications, and just hop in the chat. Interact if you can. That's always the best. That like. Especially for small streamers, seeing people interact in the chat and just being able to talk to your community is not only a great energy boost, but it's a great boost for the streamer. But even just lurking in Twitch chat is, even if you're not chatting, lurking and listening to the video or lurking on low volume helps a Twitch streamer a lot more than you know, especially at this level. It's like I said, we most of the friends, our streamer friends and our streamer community say that we all love lurkers as well, because lurkers can be the heart of the channels.
Yeah, like the work and lurk is a legitimate strategy.
You're like, I'm not doing too much, I'm just lurking. No, you are the backbone. Thank you.
Yes, it helps more than you realize. But
guys, I gotta jump off of here too.
Yep.
Stuff happening.
I gotta get over to Jarl's channel for Death of the Deities. We're getting another step closer to fighting Tiamat and some more Elder Brain dragons, which I didn't know were a thing. Those are terrifying, but we're getting there. So
awesome.
I will see you all in another dimension.